Hello, Internet. It's early September now. I am just over 30 weeks pregnant at this point, and my life is getting more and more hectic as the weeks go on. Um, First of all, I'm out of work until the baby's born, unless I'm given different notice, but I really highly doubt that will happen. Um, I have been out since last Thursday, so I've already been out for over a week now, and it's boring. I wish I could go back. Um, I'll get into more of the details on why I'm out of work as we make our way through this video. Um, I'm still having high blood pressure issues at my midwife's office, only there. Every other doctor I've gone to see, it's always normal. It's always in the 120s over 70s, or 110s or 110s over 70s. So it's kind of a really weird situation that I'm having. I also, at 28 weeks, was diagnosed with gestational diabetes, so I'm dealing with that as well. It's a lot to do. It's a lot to remember. It's a lot to balance. It's a lot to sort out. It's stressful, but it is what it is, and I'm hanging in there. But the thing with my high blood pressure, pretty much everyone except my midwife's office is pretty well convinced that my high blood pressure is related to anxiety and stress. The theory when I went to see the nephrologist, who's a kidney specialist, basically, is the gold standard what you want in dealing with high blood pressure. His theory is basically that I get anxious very easily, which is true. I told him, I said, for me, that's nothing new to hear. I am a very anxious person. I get stressed out easily. That's me. In a nutshell, definitely. So because I've had losses before and I've had so many problems with my pregnancy, that just being in that office, as much as I like them there, is making me extremely anxious, up to the point where my blood pressure once there was 150 over 100. It's never come anywhere near that in any other setting. I think the highest I've ever had in any other setting was like 125 over 80 or something like that. So, the reason that I'm out of work then is because with my midwife, she's like, I don't really know if it's the anxiety being here that's causing that. We can't really say, because, that's not something you can measure per se, which I understand what she's saying, but I'm also saying, knowing myself, it's very possible. Even if I don't necessarily feel anxious when I'm here, I know I probably am, just coming here. But her thought is that if something as simple as that is triggering my blood pressure to go up to that high of a level that's dangerous, that the type of work that I do, especially now that my work is shifted back to a school setting rather than a daycare setting, and there are fewer people there to help if I need it, that the client I work with, him having an episode or him getting aggressive or things like that, could cause me enough stress to put me in a dangerous situation very rapidly. She's also concerned about, because of the level of aggression he's been exhibiting, that I could get injured very easily, especially because it's hard for me to get up. A lot of times he's on the floor and I have to be down there with him. I have trouble just getting up. So, like, even if I were to know that he was trying to hit me or kick me or something, I wouldn't be able to get away in time. So they're really concerned both about the stress level causing a spike in blood pressure and just my inability to, basically use my CPI training to block any aggression that would be sent towards me. And I understand, and I'm not going to disagree with what she's saying, because she's right. I have been very stressed out at work because of a lot of things that are going on that obviously, he can't help. I don't blame my job. I love my job. It's the best job I've ever had. Without a doubt, I love doing it. But it's like at this point in my pregnancy with all these things happening and all the restrictions I already have on me, there's not a whole lot I can do to help him. I'm not as helpful to him as I was a few weeks ago. And there's no one at the school that I can rely on to be there, say, if he's aggressive and I need him moved out of a room. That it could come down to I'm going to have to pick up, a 40-pound kid who's kicking me, and that's dangerous, and I understand that. And I have to be realistic and say, yes, the doctors are right. This is not safe for me to be doing right now. So I really doubt that they'll let me go back until after the baby is born. That being said, my gestational diabetes is the other issue that I'm having. I knew I was at high risk for it because I have PCOS, as everyone knows, pretty much. Also, I have a very strong family history of type 2 diabetes. My dad is a type 2 diabetic. I don't know if my grandmother is a type 2 diabetic. I know she was testing blood sugar, so I don't know if she was just insulin resistant or something. But, there's something there. And my grandfather, my maternal grandfather, I believe also was a type 2 diabetic. I want to say my maternal grandmother may have been as well, but I'm not entirely sure. Maternal grandfather, I have no idea because, he passed away in 1964 and I don't know much about him. My dad doesn't know much about him. So, there's only so much we can say there. He could have had it and, no one would have known. Oh, sorry, I'm uncomfortable. So there's obviously a strong presence of it in my family. And both of those things put you at very high risk for gestational diabetes, no matter how well you're taking care of yourself during your pregnancy. If I compare myself to the way a lot of pregnant women eat prior to the diagnosis, I was doing pretty well. Sorry about the cut there. My husband was calling me from work, and whenever he calls me from work, I need to answer the phone because it usually means that he's staying late, which he is. He's working till 5 o'clock in the morning. So, woo, I think he has overtime this week. Yay, which is good with me being out of work. But anyway, as I was saying with diabetes, that, I knew I was at high risk for it. And, despite how well I was doing with eating, I still ended up with it. So, I was watching. I wasn't being, entirely like cautious or anything, but, I wasn't overindulging or anything like that. I was making sure I was eating lots of fruits and vegetables, lean meats and things like that. Trying to eat, complex carbs rather than simple sugars and stuff like that. But still, here we are. Still, I find it a little stigmatizing when you tell people like you have gestational diabetes. They're like, oh, you went a little heavy on the ice cream or the cookies or something there or whatever. It's like, no, I have a genetic predisposition to it, and I could have been starving myself and ended up with it. I eat very well. I listen to all my doctor's advices. Ugh, I sound terrible. I've had more trouble with low blood sugar since I started testing 4 times a day. It's crazy. I've had one high blood sugar reading, and I talked to my dad about it, and he immediately identified what the problem was, and I cut it out, and I haven't had a problem since. And that was my first day of doing it. So, I had no no indication of what I was supposed to be or not supposed to be eating at that point. Pretty much I just did some internet research and went with it, and I've been doing pretty well on my own, though I did speak to, a dietitian earlier this week who was really helpful and really nice, who gave me some more ideas and left me with some recipes and other websites I can use and things like that. So, that's helpful too. I am noticing lately that I'm losing weight, which is not good. So I need to make sure I'm eating the right amount. Even though I am watching carbs and things like that, I need to be consistent with how many calories I'm eating. I know yesterday I did awful because I got up late and didn't eat breakfast. And then for the rest of the day, once I calculated it out, I was only at I want to say 80 carbs or 80 grams of carbs for the whole day. And I'm usually at about 150. So I got half of what I normally did. And that's not so good. So when you have something like this, it's just missing a meal or missing a snack or something like that can totally screw up your whole day. My blood sugars yesterday were lower than they normally are, but were still pretty good. So, it showed, but it wasn't terrible. I'm not having any symptoms of any problems or anything like that, but it is kind of scary to, go to a doctor when you're 30 weeks pregnant and hear you've lost 5 pounds. It's not killing you, but it's not safe either. It's you need to be going the other way, please. Because now for the whole pregnancy, I've only gained 10 pounds. And that's not so good. I need to start gaining again. I mean, I really just need to gain those 5 pounds back and I should be okay. But it's just, I know I have trouble at night because what I tend to do is I eat dinner and then I will have a snack later on, but it's usually not enough. I'll grab a cheese stick and water, and that will be it for my snack, which means I'm getting no carbs at night. And that's not good. So my body is burning fat overnight, and that's bad. So I'm making, a conscious effort tonight to eat, a larger snack. I stay up pretty late now that I'm not at work. It's just kind of the way my body has always worked, that I prefer to be up at night. So unless I have a reason to get up early, I don't. Just works for me. So I might even incorporate 2 snacks because I usually don't get a snack in between breakfast and lunch. Now that my schedule has changed, so I need the extra snack. I need one couple hours after dinner and then about an hour before I go to bed or so. And I'm going to make a conscious effort tonight to make sure that I'm getting carbs in those snacks. But as you can tell, it's a lot of balancing. It's a lot of stuff to remember. It's a lot to do. And it's scary when you're pregnant. You hear most of the bigger complications happen when your diabetes is not controlled. So, you're having high blood sugars all the time. In my case, like I said, it's not good to be losing weight, but the adverse effects are, honestly, they're less proven, I guess. When your body's burning fat instead of glucose for energy, you end up with ketones in your bloodstream, which some research shows, can affect the baby's brain. Other research shows it does nothing to a developing baby. So, I can't say for sure. To err on the side of caution, do I want to make sure that I'm not spilling ketones? Yes. But it's hard to say if there really is an issue with it or not. The thing about losing weight is, if I keep losing weight, that's bad. They're going to want to change something. They're going to want to do something to make sure that I'm not continually losing weight, because everyone knows that you should be gaining weight during pregnancy no matter where you start out. Obviously the more overweight or obese you are, when you become pregnant, the less weight you should gain, but you still should be gaining at least some. So, my 10 pounds is okay, but having lost 5 pounds in like 2 weeks is not so good. So yeah, I need to get my weight back up. I've been trying to eat more today already, and we'll see how it goes for tonight too. After this video, I'll probably go get that first snack. But I think right now things are tough because I feel like a lot of things are out of my hands. I know I'm doing everything I can to be healthy, and I know he's okay. He's always moving around and things like that. But it does feel like it got out of control very quickly, that I have so many issues, that I can't work, that I need to limit my physical activity and things like that. It's crazy. I know I'm okay. I know he's okay, but it's still scary to think that all these things are going on with me. Then it's just like I want it to be over. I just want him to be here. I know he's okay. So, I think in that sense, that's stressing me out a little bit, just the way I feel with everything going on. But, I'm remaining positive. I'm still doing yoga to bring the stress levels down, trying to do things I enjoy, while I'm at home, to keep myself placated and busy. And that's a little harder than I thought it would be. But, so far, so good considering everything. I think I'm handling it pretty well considering my usual anxiety levels. But yeah, that pretty much brings us up to speed. As long as my blood pressure stays, at a not too high range, and it stays low at other doctor's offices, I should be able to go to term, unless my diabetes starts getting out of control for some reason. So I'm hoping, we make it at least 32 weeks. That's only like about a week and a half away at this point. I'm sure I'll make it further than that. I really, really believe I will, but who knows? Anything could happen. I'm really hoping to not have a premature baby, but I know it's a possibility. So I'm hanging in there. I'm making sure I'm all prepared for him and everything, and we're getting there. It's scary, but I know it's not too much longer, and he's kicking me right now, trying to tell me it's all right, Mom. We're good. We're good. So yeah, just gonna keep positive, keep smiling, keep my head up, because that's really all I can do at this point. So yeah, that's about it. I'll probably update again in a couple weeks or so. All right, see you guys later. Bye.